Welcome back, everybody. Tuesday morning edition of Hot Mike rolls on. Tomorrow, Bison Media Zone back here. Mike McFeely will join me in studio, chat about Bison defense, a couple other hot topics going on there around the NDSU football team. We'll hit that tomorrow. That's coming up 10:30, right? 24 hours from right now here on WDAY Extra. If you missed our Bison Media Day coverage last Thursday, we streamed it live on Inforum.com and on WDAY+. We interviewed a bunch of football players about the upcoming season, and one of them is Pierre native Gray Zabel, who I was watching last night, the story I did when he announced his verbal commitment. That came in the summer, nearly 5 years ago right now, of 2019, prior to his senior year at Pierre, playing with a young man named Lincoln Keenholz, who's now the quarterback at The Ohio State. They had a pretty good team, part of a Governor's team that just steamrolled, still does. Heck, enough that his younger brother, Jet, ended up winning a couple of state championships after Gray has moved on and been playing at NDSU. And you'll hear during my conversation, we've had Gray on a couple of times, going back to that first fall camp when he got here in the fall of 2020, which was unlike any we'll ever see again, where the Bison had like a week of practices, then shut down for a month, and then started back up again in anticipation of playing that one football game in the fall. And then, because of injury and players that decided not to return, Gray ended up playing and starting as a true freshman in the spring season of 2021. That has all now evolved into him being one of the top pro prospects on the Bison football roster of 2024. And if you'll remember, to set this up, to talk about my first question with him, in early December last year of 2023, the vultures were out circling around Zabel to enter the transfer portal and to receive a sizable amount of NIL money to transfer to another school. And I know for a fact that there were two schools that put a blank check in front of the Zabel family saying, write it down and we will take care of you. And knowing full well that his younger brother was coming here, had already signed to play at NDSU, that certainly swung. And Zabel announced in late December that he was returning for his fifth year. And the Bison are certainly grateful of that they've got a rock star at left tackle. My conversation with Zabel about turning down NIL, about what to expect of the Bison offensive line, a few other topics. Here's our conversation. But let's first start senior, wrapping around that. I don't know if you and I have had a conversation. I know I talked to your parents after last year on just the zaniness after last year ended, or even during the end of last year. Can you tell viewers about that, about just how crazy it was about being approached by other schools?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a little kind of awkward and weird that you end with one football season and then you got to start talking about football all over again. Yeah. Had to make a big decision. Decided to come back and spend my fifth and final year at NDSU, and it's been probably the best half year so far in my life. I mean, I loved every moment of it. Really got to take in the experience of kind of the last go around here. Super excited so far.
Was it overwhelming, Gray?
A little bit. Depends on kind of how you look at it. I always said it was a good problem to have. But yeah, you could say a little overwhelming, but luckily I got great people around me, great support system, great coaches here. It was a pretty easy decision in the end. With
Jet coming here, did that make it easier, or to say way more in NDSU's favor to stay?
Yeah, for sure. Having the opportunity to play with a little brother college sports is something that doesn't really get to happen very often. So when he kind of made his decision to come up here, I was super excited, and then kind of had that question mark towards the end of the year. And with him being here, I was super excited to play with him. So, yeah, it definitely made the decision a little bit easier.
How much have you given him the ropes of what to expect during fall camp?
Quite a bit. I've just been trying to be a guy that he can lean on and ask questions and all that stuff. So now I'm kind of having to learn the playbook from the tight end side of the ball, so to help him out there. So kind of getting to dive more into a little more football.
And your fall camp, your freshman year, was beyond bizarre. It was COVID. So for him, he's having the traditional setup where you didn't have that experience whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. And I really told him, I was like, I never went through a freshman fall camp. But fall camp, I mean, the older you get, the more fun you have with it. He's probably a lot, pretty nervous. doesn't know what to expect. But old guy like me, man, it's the best time of my life. Get to spend an entire month playing football and hanging out with your friends.
No school, it's a good time, right?
Absolutely, that's the best part.
So offensive line is obviously going through a change. There's some new faces up there for fans that aren't used to the guys or don't know them yet. Describe the younger guys, the guys that have come in that are fighting for spots next to you and Mason.
Yeah, no, I would best word I kind of use to describe is hungry. Every single one of them is hungry to be able to play for NDSU and play for this great program. We got a lot of talent, younger talent that has been playing really good football so far this camp. And then we got some guys kind of in the middle that are starting to make strides, looking really good every single day. So they're just constantly improving and getting better every single day, and I'm excited for every single one of them.
What do you tell them, especially the younger guys, about fall camp, going through that and maybe not putting the weight of the world of their shoulders on one play to shake it off, because it's not going to affect the depth chart is one play if you miss an assignment?
Yeah, no, great question. I try and preach to them just constant improvement, improvement from play to play, day to day, week to week. If you can show these coaches you're improving, you're starting to build trust with them and starting to kind of gain that trust from everyone else on the entire offensive line, everyone else on the football team. So just improve every single day. I mean, I tell them I'm going into my 5th fall camp and I'm still making mistakes here and missing blocks, but nobody's perfect. But we can have great effort every single play, so that's what we preach.
And your freshman year, you're playing games. So, I mean, was that the best learning, even though you really probably wouldn't want to do that? Was that the best learning curve for you?
Yeah, I would say kind of got thrown into the fire freshman year with a few injuries and stuff. So kind of just getting that experience and knowing what college football is like was huge, to understand kind of the pace and the tempo that you have to play. So, yeah, I would say it was really beneficial. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd wish that upon anyone younger than me. So, yeah.
I mean, was your first start against UND? Do I have that right? Do I remember correct? May have been.
You probably have a better memory than I do. That was a long time ago. So.
But, I mean, to be thrown in the fire like that, I mean, of all things, you're playing in March and in April, I mean, just you had to be pinching yourself. Like last year I was in high school. Now I'm starting in college football right now.
Yeah. It was that spring was a crazy year. As we're playing football, it's warming up and getting warmer. Something I never experienced that in life. But, yeah, it was crazy.
You know the lineage of left tackle at North Dakota State. To be that spot, what kind of pressure is that for you personally, that you want to excel and be the next great left tackle at NDSU?
Yeah, I wouldn't say pressure. I would say more honor. It's an honor to play left tackle at North Dakota State, be part of the Rams and get to play for Coach Larson and Coach Polasek. It's unbelievable. I kind of pinch myself every single day knowing I get to wake up and go play football. That's kind of our job here as college athletes, is to go play football and stuff, and there's nothing better, and I'm going to try and make it last as long as I can.
Coach Polasek having coached offensive line, does it help? And how much does he try to insert himself into the offensive line? He told me he's trying to stay out. How much does he get into the O-line room?
No, it's awesome. Yeah, you can see he's kind of trying to keep his distance a little bit, but I always walk over there and ask him and kind of ask him what he thinks or what he saw and stuff, to just kind of get his take, because he's coached some unbelievable football players. And
Justin Wirfs just got paid a heck of a lot of money as a guy he recruited and coached.
Yeah, that's a nice payday for him. Right. And doing a film study on Tristan Wirfs this offseason, I mean, he deserved every penny of it. He was a great football player. But being able to kind of learn from Coach Polasek and kind of pick his brain about certain things is really cool. And then just Coach Larson and his football knowledge as well. So having those two guys kind of in my corner to help me out, it's really, really helpful.
I know you were hand in hand with Cody when he went through everything, not just the season, obviously, but everything that happened after. Mm-hmm. And he was getting help from Cordell on that. How much have you tapped into Cody for what's to come, what's already started and what's potentially to come after the season?
Yeah, no, I've tapped into both Cordell, Cody, Jake, Jalen.
There's
all
about
those
18
guys.
Yeah.
I always say just throw a dart at a dartboard
and you can
find out who can help you. But no, just kind of them talking me through this process, helping me out with everything has just been super helpful. And like they said, they had guys that came before them that helped them out through that process. So they're just kind of returning the favor, as they say, but it's been unbelievable. Can't thank them enough for everything they've done and helped me with. And they're definitely awesome friends to have in your corner.
I know you're blocking it out, but to have your name on the Senior Bowl watch list, I mean, tell me about that. When you see that, like, okay, the professional scouts are thinking that I can do this.
Yep. It's pretty crazy to have that. Just kind of try and take the thought process of doing it one day at a time. Still got to go out there and be the best version of myself, play my best football this year and stuff, and hopefully get a shot. But as I know, it's just a long ways away.
When did you realize that pro football there's a chance? Was there a call, a moment that said, okay, there looks like an opportunity, this is going to happen? May happen.
Yeah. Personally, I still don't know if it's going to happen. Still got to pitch myself and stuff every phone call I take. So I'm just kind of going through that process and everything. It's pretty crazy. It's surreal. Kind of growing up, you never knew if it was possible or not. And then now you kind of have the possibility of doing something like that. It's just kind of hard to wrap your mind around and all that stuff. So
South Dakota is moving up the leaderboard on athletes. I'm not breaking news to you. North Dakota certainly is there as well, but the level of talent, not just and everyone may think on the eastern side of the state with Sioux Falls, but obviously with Pierre and Rapid City. Describe that of seeing high-level talent. Your old quarterback obviously doing that. What that means to you?
Yeah, no, unbelievable. Awesome for the state of South Dakota as well. Kind of have people that they can support, get behind, and all that stuff. And it's crazy how all these high-level athletes that are going off to do great things and stuff, I kind of have a tie to them, or I know them, or I'm friends with them, or something like that. So that's pretty cool. And I'm just super excited for all of them to kind of get their chance. There's a lot of guys out there that are younger and kind of going through the high school ranks that are going to have the opportunity and kind of have somebody to look forward to or look up to kind of go and accomplish their dreams. So super excited for everyone that is coming out of the state of South Dakota, and they're producing a lot of really, really good athletes.
On the flip side, how badly do you want to beat the Jackrabbits this season?
Bad, really bad. Being 0-5 against them, I feel like every single time I step foot in the state of South Dakota, somebody's telling me that. So,
and your dad told me you grew up as surrounded by Jackrabbit fans. Is that accurate?
Yeah. One of our neighbors, he was my dentist growing up. Like when I committed to NDSU, he put up like 7 SDSU signs in our lawn. So, and every single time I run into him back home and stuff, and he just lets me know. He calls me Ofer and stuff. So. It's we need a big win this fall, and I'm looking forward to that game.
But you have great memories in Vermilion. It's like one or the other. Like you had all the championships you had, and obviously the last game the Bison played, and the last couple of games in Vermilion have been pretty good for NDSU.
Yep. So, been pretty lucky, pretty fortunate, and USD now it just needs to change to SCSU this year.
Last question: personal goals for yourself. I know what team goals are. What do you have personally set aside for 2024?
Man, personal goals would probably just be the best version of myself this fall. Just kind of be myself. Don't try and be anyone you're not, and be the best leader and teammate and best older brother I can be, and be the best friend. Big thing that I'm trying to take in this next 4 or 5 months is just the relationships and stuff, because college football is a really special thing. A lot of relationships you build here. It's going to be gone as you know it. 4 years have flown by, and I can't believe I'm sitting here going into my 5th year, and it's just like yesterday we were going through COVID and that first fall camp. So it's been a crazy ride, and excited for everyone that's kind of been with me or been by my side, and we're not done yet.
Our conversation there with Gray Zabel from Bison Media Day, and a lot of expectations. I think you heard there from the young man, and he knows full well what's expected and excited about what's to come. Not only beyond this football season, but obviously the professional ranks after that. You can't underestimate, obviously, the impact of his baby brother being here as well. And Jet's going through the ropes of fall camp for the first time. And you heard Gray say, want to be a great big brother. And I thought that was important. The added bonus on that, and adding in the comments of what he's gone through at home, dealing with the South Dakota State's dominance in this rivalry, I thought I appreciate that. It was really refreshing there. We'll break. We come back. We'll wrap things up, get you ready for a busy Sports Tuesday. Tons going on today. It's a good day to get out of work early because there's plenty to chew on here over the next few hours. We'll wrap Hot Mike right after this.